Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world. You're back here with your boy once again at Late Night Tech Talks with me, JayJay. We're going to get it started, but we're going to do a little bit of a B-roll, so stick around, don't go anywhere, don't touch your dial. We got more for you right here on JayJay's PC Builds. And welcome back once again. Glad you made it through the B-roll. We're going to get it started with the little late night tech talk. And the way we're going to get it started is the fact of what's coming up. Don't forget, we're going to start with AMD. AMD's video cards. They got the 7900 XTX coming up and the 7900 XT. It's going to be coming out December the 13th, so stick around for that. Also, too, AIB partners for those cards are going to be about a week or 2 weeks later getting them out, so you might not be able to get the AIB partner cards. Maybe they'll come out before Christmas, who knows, but the thing is they might come out after the New Year's. They're still in a the kind of planning and everything else. It's kind of started out late, so just to let you know, if you're looking for they got a couple cards that might come out for the AIB partners. You never know. I mean, it's kind of hard to say right now because it's all up in the air. So that's why I'm not going to give you a definite answer. But from what I'm hearing, it's supposed to be 2 weeks or a week. It's kind of all up in the air. But what's not up in the air is the actual AMD cards. They're going to be coming out the 13th. So make sure you get yours. The XTX is looking like it's still going to be $9.99, and the XT model is going to be $8.99. Also, too, they had the Black Friday. Might be able to get your hands on it today, but going to the CPU side, looks like AMD lowered some prices on some CPUs. Just to let you know about that. And what's more to come, we never know with AMD. AMD's always, like I said before, AMD's always got a trick up their sleeves. So that's basically what we're waiting to see. Now, what's going to be launched and added, let's see, what do we got going on? Well, AMD's got the Ryzen 7 7700 non-X series coming out either late this year in December sometime or next year. Looks like the Ryzen 7 7700 non-X series is coming out. Now the Ryzen 7 7000 X3D has just been added to 2023, and it looks like they're going to have the Ryzen 7 7800 X3D 8-core 16 thread, a Ryzen 9 7900 X3D 12-core 24 thread, and they're going to have the Ryzen 9 7950 X3D 16-core 32 thread. It looks like it's going to be announced at the CES for 2023. So it's supposed to be the 3DV caches. It's supposed to be a really good one. So make sure y'all stick around. I'm going to have more on that as soon as I get more information. And then we can go from there. So, looks like a lot of upgrading that looks like AMD is going to be doing. Looks like they got a lot going on. And basically, from what I'm hearing, the 6-core 12 thread, they got the Ryzen 5 7600HX 6-core 12 thread, 4.8 to 5 gigahertz boost. Looks like they really got something going on here. So just to let you know, there's more coming out. As soon as I get more information, I will let you know. Also, too, looks like Intel's got something coming out. The i9 13900KS just been added. It's going to be coming out in 2023. Supposed to have the same configuration as the 13900K, 8-core 16 thread Raptor Lake architecture. It's supposed to have the KS is supposed to have up to 6 gigahertz boost clocks. Okay, so far the only way I'm hearing, when it comes to the 6 gigahertz boost clocks is that they're, when they're benchmarking it, okay, they're boosting it through benchmarking, they're boosting it up by using LNN, using a really, really high pitched coolant to get the boost clocks up over 6 gigahertz. Okay, I'd like to see them do a stock at 6 gigahertz. Okay, this way when the consumer buys it, they can buy it out of the box and get 6 gigahertz. Okay, this is what they're not getting to, and this is where everybody's missing the point. Okay, not everybody knows how to boost these CPUs up to 6 gigahertz. Okay, if you're a regular consumer, you're looking out of the box and you're telling yourself, can I get 6 gigahertz out of the box? Other than, watching on YouTube all these people here that have been doing this for years get up to 6 gigahertz. What about the little man that can't get up to 6 gigahertz? How much fairness is that right there? Now, not everybody knows how to tweak and peak their CPUs. They're just looking out of the box and go. Okay, this is where everybody makes the mistake, getting out of the box and go. And nobody talking about, getting something out of the box. No, they're talking about other people, and reviewers, don't get me wrong, okay? Not all consumers, the little guys, can get 6 gigahertz out of the box. Okay, you have to understand that, and you have to respect that. I respect the consumer, and if I can get 6 gigahertz from a processor like a consumer can get, then I would advertise that tremendously. Okay, if I can get it myself out of the box at that speed, then, I'm going to give them a positive note. But for right now, them telling me that, they're getting this and that out of the box and this and that, you know what? You know what I get out of the box from my PC? And this is a Ryzen 5 5600G. You know what I'm getting out of the box? And with AMD Adrenalin and the new, and the 22.3, the new one that's out, they have in there on their software CPU boost. I'm getting CPU boost from, guess what? AMD software, because my computer is all AMD. Other than having Asus in here, Asus motherboard. But I'm getting 4.6 gigahertz boost clock. 4.6 gigahertz boost clock off of a Ryzen 5 5600G on a B450 Asus motherboard. And everybody's sitting there talking about, oh, we're getting 6 gigahertz and this and that. Okay, you can go ahead and get 6 gigahertz. I'm getting 4.6 gigahertz, and it's doing me just fine right here. And if you don't believe me, I can show you what's going on. Let me go ahead and, prove my point really quick and pull up a little bit of information for you. That way you can see for yourself what's going on. Pull up AMD. Okay, let's pull up AMD. Let's pull up tuning. Let's pull up that. Okay, now I'm going to switch over my screens. Okay, now this is the screen you need to see. Right here. See this? Where it says CPU clock speed. This is the boost that it's giving. It's giving a 0.2% boost. But when I run this at a good speed, when I'm doing like gaming and stuff like that, I'll even prove even more one. I'll open up something else. I'll open up let's see, the tropics for just to get my point across. I am going to pull up tropics, and I'm going to run the demo since it's at DX11. And there. See, now watch it climb. This gives me an extra boost to my clocks on the CPU. Okay, this gives me a 0.2%, and it's only drawing 1.4 volts. And going to the metrics part, I'm still running this right here. I am still running it. But that's not for the CPU. That's for the GPU. But since it's shared RAM, guess what happens? It shares the RAM. So basically, I get what I get. Now, since I proved that point about that, now let's do one better. Let's go ahead and pull up Cinebench. So that way you all can see. We're going to pull up Cinebench R23. And then get that out of the way. So we'll pull up Cinebench R23 so you all can see the difference when it comes to, doing this. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull up Cinebench. And we go ahead and start Cinebench. I'll do one pass and let it run. Okay, Cinebench is now running. And I'm not running at bad speeds. Not at all. I'm pulling 100% of the CPU. and I'm not pulling too much from the GPU. So, look, you have to look at it like this. The reason why I do these tests is so that way you all see that, using a lower, how can I say this? Using a lower processor doesn't mean you're going to, bite the bullet on performance. Okay. Even with the slower processor, you can still this is not a slow processor. This is just an early model. Now, if I go up to the Ryzen 7 5700G and run these tests again, oh, sure, it's going to be a lot faster, but I'm going to be doing it off the same motherboard. Well, that's not too bad. 10,048. And that puts me in line with, right here, if you see that right here, a Threadripper. Right below a 16 core 32 thread. Look at this. 8 core 16 thread i9 9880H CPU. And I'm right above that. So, these test results show me that with the scoring that I'm not, I got a 10,000 score. What can you beat on that? You can't beat anything with that. Okay, so you get a 10,000 score. It's really good. I mean, for this kind of processor and me not running a discrete graphics card, you have to look at it like that. So, the point is this. You can run any 5000 series, any Zen 3 series, okay, and get the performance you're looking for. It doesn't matter which one it is. You can run the 5000, you can run the 7, the 9, all in Zen 3, and still get the performance you're looking for. Or you want to get the 5800 X3D. I bet you if I thought about it, I can plug the 5800 X3D into this motherboard without changing nothing. The only thing I would have to change is put a discrete graphics card in. That's the only thing I would have to change. But I bet you I'll still get better performance or the same as what I'm getting now on this one. That's the point. Okay? If you're going to spend oodles of dollars for an AM5 series, I'm going to tell you like this. I would wait a year before I would decide to go to an AM5 series. I would stick with the platform that's already seasoned, that's already flourished, and it's already got all the drivers for it. And it's already been tested, it's already been proven that it is a good series. Okay? Stick with what you know that works. Okay? If you know AM4 series works and it's been tested many of times by many reviewers, then stick with the AM4 series. Until the AM5 series have been tested enough and proven that it's worthy of going up to that next level. And this is just honesty with you all. I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm not going to the AM5 series until I see that it's well worth the money to buy it. And right now, for the price to performance, I cannot see to tell anybody to buy it. I'm not going to tell you to buy this. Especially with recession looming and everything else, I'm not telling you to go buy any of this. I'm just telling you what you can do to your current system to make it better. That gives you an idea of upgrading from your current system. Now, if you got a pre-built system, Like if you got a Dell or a Hewlett Packard or something, yeah, sure, you can upgrade the video card if that's what you want to do. But as far as the processing power, the CPU power, to upgrade that on a pre-built system like a Dell or a Hewlett Packard, I would not. I'm against that. I've tried that one time. I tried to upgrade the processor, and the results were the same. I got the same results from the last processor to the next processor. I didn't see much of an increase in anything, and it seems like it's a big waste of money trying to upgrade the processor in a pre-built system from Hewlett Packard or Dell. It is just a waste of money. That's all it is. Just a waste of money. But going on, we're at 20 minutes right now. But anyway, I've just given you a few thoughts and a few ideas of what you can do and not do. And this is my final conclusion to this. My idea of building a system is to build it at low cost, like the consumer, building it to where it plays all my favorite games and everything else, and be done with the upgrading and everything else for the next 5 years. Okay. So by adding a new piece to your arsenal, which is your computer, by adding a new piece to it, you're kind of taking it out of the Stone Age and back into the New Age. But I've noticed that I have a 3rd gen Dell PC, but I have a newer type graphics card in it. That's the only thing that I updated on that PC was the graphics card. And it still runs like a gem. I'm still not having a problem. It runs on Windows 10. It runs with 16 gigs of RAM. It runs with a newer style graphics card. And it runs with an Intel processor. So, I'm using one for Intel, I'm using one for Ryzen, for AMD. Okay, I'm using best of both worlds. I got 2 PCs I use. And basically, they give me what I want. Don't build a PC if you're just doing it to build a PC. Build a PC for your everyday usage to make sure you get 5 years out of it and save yourself a buck or two. Don't upgrade because everybody tells you this is better, this is better, this is better. Look, I'm still in this AMD system, I'm still on an iGPU, and I have not changed it for 3 months now. Until I see a discrete graphics card that is well worth to go into my system, I still run the iGPU. Okay. Now, if I see one that's better, that's going to give better performance than this iGPU, then I might consider it. For price to performance right now, I get better price to performance off of the iGPU than I would a discrete graphics card. So basically, I paid $153 for the processor, which included the integrated graphics, which you can't mistake that. It's still a graphics card, but it's built onto the processor. It's still the same thing, but it's built onto the processor. But you're using the RAM that's on your computer, that supplies from the motherboard, using it for the iGPU. That's the only difference. And everybody thinks, it's a little bit slower and this and that. No, it's not. It's not. That's where everybody makes a mistake. It's not slow. It's just it's built with only 7 compute units. Okay, it only has 7 compute units. You can't, and when you got a discrete graphics card that's got 60 to 80 to 90 compute units, that's a big difference. Now, if you put 70 compute units onto an iGPU, which way are you going to be going? If you put RDNA 3 onto an iGPU, which way are you going? If you put everything into one package on an iGPU, which way are you going to go? You're going to go to the processor with the iGPU that has everything built on it that you just plug and go. Okay? And you can take and with an iGPU, if they set it up to where you got 16 gigabytes of VRAM, okay, not virtual RAM, hard, regular PC RAM, okay, and you plug in 32 gigabytes of PC RAM, that's at great speed, like mine's at 3600 MT. Now, if I can pull it up to 4400 MT on this motherboard, my iGPU will run faster. You see the point? It's not hard to build something to make it last longer. But anyway, that's just my conclusion to the iGPU and a discrete graphics card. I like using the iGPU because there's less heat in the computer. There's more space in the computer to do more of what you want to do with it. It just makes more sense to me to run an iGPU than it does a discrete graphics card. But in time, I might test out a discrete graphics card in this computer just to test it out to see if it's going to actually work for me. But it's going to have to be a graphics card that's a lot better than the iGPU I got here. So, we'll leave you on that note. Like and subscribe. And I want to thank everybody that has subscribed. From what it looks like we have now, and I'm going to go to the channel site to see what's going on. It looks like we got 32 subscribers now, and I want to thank all the new people that have subscribed. We have gained 4 subscribers since the last time that I made a video. I want to thank you all once again for being helping out the channel and subscribing. We're still working up towards the 1,000 mark, and the more videos I'm making, I'm still going to preach to the choir. So, but make sure y'all watch the videos from beginning to end. That puts more time to get us to accomplish the first level, to get our name up onto the books, so this way we can set our new goals that we're going to be coming up to as soon as we get on the books. But anyway, until the next time in the next video, this is JayJay, your boy. We will see you again.